godly seers. So today I'm talking about always making sure that you have your spiritual covering intact and paying very close attention to the things that God is showing you before things start to happen in your life. I'm talking about spiritual security. And I'm talking about spiritual security in a sense that sometimes we go about opening doors, right? Without realizing that we've opened the wrong doors to the wrong people, to the wrong things, for things that are going to come into your life and start tormenting you. I'll give you an example. Sometimes when I start to see certain dreams or certain visions, I know something is clearly off, right? So in terms of me as a person, the places that I've gone, like back in the day when we used to follow, different men of God. I remember there was this prayer group that was so powerful. For those of you that ever attended, it was called Upper Room. Upper Room became a huge problem, a huge deal in the UK. I knew about them when they used to run prayer meetings in London. Like they used to do Friday overnight services back in the day when this new prophetic wave came to light. We'd never heard of people that can prophesy to the color of your underwear. You walk into a room and this man of God will be like, oh, don't you drive a red Mini Cooper? Don't you ride a black Nissan Juke? Like, they'll prophesy things to the T. Like, we were, mind blown. We'd never seen that level of accuracy as far as we were concerned. And that's all you needed to hear, to surrender everything, surrender all your money. But then there's a darkness that moved around with them, that they'll come in, get the attention, and then it's like, also, if you want more, if you want us to mentor you or speak more about your life, you have to come with an envelope full of money. Come and, like, they'll come, for example, to Birmingham. They will rent hotels. Those who want to see them for further conversations, you have to either stay around or come back in the daytime, come with an envelope, and then, they'll have some conversations with you and tell you a bit more about yourself. So when someone told me about it from my church, I also called my friend. It's like it was one of those things that when you hear, you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We started going down in huge numbers. And, they'll see someone, watch someone walking in from a distance. They'll be like, oh, yeah, your door number is number 19. And you'll be like, oh, this must be a real man of God and stuff. Long story short, we sat down in the congregation. One day they were praying and I got up. And I had one of the most strangest winds. Yeah, I knew something was not right about this wind. It's like when you get a blower and you directly blow on something, on someone, like I could feel it on my skin very strongly. When you look in the atmosphere, I don't see where the wind was coming from. And we were all on the floor. It blew us on the floor and we're like, oh, yeah. When the minute I landed on the floor, I was like, something is off. It did not feel, I've fallen under the Holy Spirit before. This felt off, but I couldn't put my finger as to why. It didn't really feel like the power of God that had landed me on the ground. But as soon as my head hit the ground, I saw what I usually see when I start to compromise or when I open certain doors that I don't. Because God will show us the issues within our spiritual covering in different ways. Mine is almost always guaranteed that I'll see myself spiritually owning a house, but the house in the dream or in the vision, whichever way it comes to me, that house is surely mine. But what's different with it this time around, it's got no doors and it's got no windows. It's got no security. That's what I saw. I landed on the ground and then I started to see a vision that appeared to me immediately right in front of me. I saw the Lord walk through this house that looked like, okay, it should be a finished house, but it's got no doors, it's got no windows. And as he walked across, they're like, get up. You're in the wrong place. I am not here. My spirit is not here. It's not moving in this place. You are so vulnerable. Your gates are non-existent. Like, get up, girl, run. In a nutshell. And the minute I saw that vision that I was without security, I was left vulnerable, I quickly jumped up whilst everybody was still sitting. And I remember one of the prophets really looking at me like, okay, maybe this one is really different. She's seen something. I got up. We used to go, because the way you overnight, It was very late at night. We used to take the train. I couldn't go back home. I was standing by the door. Waiting until morning. And from that time, I didn't tell any of my friends, even the ones that I took, because I was like, how are they going to see this? I just left and never returned. And then one by one, they also started falling off. One of them, one day I called her. She was like, why did you stop coming? I was like, okay, God showed me. I had compromised somewhere. I had entered into a wrong place. God is not in that place. And then from the very minute God revealed it to me, I started having tormenting dreams from that ministry. The two prophets looking for me everywhere, like trying to put me on chains. Because I started praying against it, like whatever. Because sometimes you go into that place, you've maybe just being in the presence, you are almost initiated into something, some form of whatever is going on without actually realizing, just by being in their presence. I started cleansing myself from the contamination that I picked up on that place. But the battle was so hard, like every day I was fighting back in prayer. They were fighting me, I was fighting back. It took me, I've spoken about this before, going away on a prayer retreat by myself. I had other issues going on in life, but I combined it with this ministry, the contamination from this ministry. I went to Ashburnham prayer grounds for 3 days, praying and fasting and staying in that place, seeking God. And that's where I managed to break free from those people that I could see. They chased me down. They were chasing me down, trying to still find me. That the prayer house where I was praying, this came in a dream, my deliverance, that they were standing on the rooftop. They were looking to find me. They could no longer find me. They're like, where is she gone? She's not supposed to escape from us. This one has escaped. I could hear their voices on top of the roof. They're looking for the doors and window to enter my house, but they can no longer penetrate. And that's the very last day I stopped having tormenting dreams from those people. So I'm saying to you guys, be careful. Be very careful. For some of the people, God may speak to you very, very differently. For example, if you live in Africa, or even here in the UK, if you're someone that uses pets as a god, like back home, all I know is that we don't necessarily keep dogs as pets. They're not necessarily pets. We use them as guard dogs. You know, when God is starting to indicate that, look, you are vulnerable, your covering is no longer there. Maybe you start to see dreams such as your guard dog is sick all of a sudden and you're trying to run everywhere to find support for it. You can't find any help. Or your guard dog is missing. You know, you're looking everywhere for your dog. You have no security. Or I've had people that would dream that someone is breaking into their house. They forgot to put the locks on the actual house. Someone is coming and they're breaking that doors down. And they all, like, you dream that you've left the door open and someone has stolen everything. You see, has stolen everything that belongs to you. Something. The enemy is about to steal from you. The enemy, there's a vulnerability in the spirit realm that you have to really take charge of the situation. I remember quickly, many years ago, I had something that looked like a major breakthrough. Actually, I need to find that sister and tell her I had something, a celebration that looked really, really wonderful. People were congratulating me right, left, and center. It was a relationship or whatever. And this girl, instead of congratulating me when she saw me, she was like, Godly, after I heard about the news, I had a terrible dream. She sounded like a killjoy at that point, but I was like, But she had to be bold and tell me that, look, instead of like, after I had the news and I'm supposed to be celebrating with you, I had a dream that your house had been broken into and every single thing was stolen. Every single the only thing that she saw that survived was my passport. Probably my identity. My passport. Everything else, the house was empty. The police gathered everywhere. She gave me this she told me this dream maybe about day 2 of what looked like a breakthrough. What followed after that, it was a wipeout. It's one of those situations that what looked like a breakthrough back then, that if I could go back into my past and erase the entire situation, I could go and erase it. It was that bad. It nearly took my life. But at the beginning of it, it looked like a blessing. God sent a dream to someone and said, look, I've already warned this girl. At that point, when she told me that, God had already been warning me over a year, do not go that side. I still went there. You see, and then even after I'd gone there, God is still sending someone to say, look, what she's entered, she's got no covering. She's going to be wiped out. Indeed, I was wiped out. If it wasn't for God, I probably could have lost my life, because there were so many opportunities that if God did not pull me out eventually, I could have lost my life. So be careful. Don't just ignore the things you're seeing. If you start to see certain dreams, I don't know how God speaks to you about, your spiritual security and covering, or the doors that you've opened. Once you see it, do not ignore it. Don't just say, oh yeah, no, go back and ask God to be specific. Which area is he referring to? What are you to do? How do you undo? How do you come out? Don't just ignore until the worst has happened to you. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.